So you're a frustrated buyer? I totally get it. This is a crazy market. 2023, it actually really kind of sucks to be a home buyer right now. So let's just get right into it because there's a lot of interesting tidbits out there. And let's just talk about the market because it's been crazy. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Bob Dzienis with Coldwell Banker here in Northern New Jersey. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, if you like what you see today, give me a thumbs up, but also click on that bell just to subscribe to the channel. It helps me provide more content, helps grow the channel, so would really appreciate your support. All right, so let's just get into it because, this market has been absolutely crazy. Here it is, July 2023, and I've got a ton of frustrated buyers. I've got buyers who decided, you know what, I'm going to hold off a year. I've got other buyers who are practically crying in the corner because of offers not being accepted. So what the heck is going on? Like, all these predictions were out there that said, you know something, it's going to level off, it's going to balance out, and that just hasn't happened. So what I want to do today is just go through a few articles that I've been reading about, or reading through actually, and just some interesting tidbits of information and really kind of what's causing a lot of this frustration that's out there for home buyers, but also sellers as well. Sellers are kind of dictating what's going on, but there's also, it's the dreaded mortgage rate. So I want to talk about that too. So the first article I want to go through is an article from Redfin, and it's titled, "Nearly Everyone with a Mortgage Has an Interest Rate Below 6%. So I just want to take you through some pieces of this article because I think it's definitely getting into a lot of the frustration that people are feeling, especially when they're wanting to purchase a house right now. So the big thing with mortgage rates is we are seeing rates in, I guess, the high sixes at this point. This is July 2023. We're definitely seeing about 6.8% or so. It just depends on what your background is, your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So what's interesting, one of the first bullet points in this article gets into roughly 4 in 5 homeowners that have a mortgage here in the United States, they have an interest rate that's actually below 5%. So that's huge. So 2021, 2022, when mortgage rates were at 2.5%, 3%, many people refinanced during that time. So when they refinanced, it's like, all right, so now if mortgage rates here in July 2023, we're looking at 6.8% or so. If I was a seller, why the heck would I put my house on the market unless I really had to? The second bullet point here in this article says, with rates now close to 7%, many homeowners, they're just not moving, which is intensifying a shortage of homes for sale. So that's really true, this whole shortage of homes. I definitely was seeing it more and more in the fall of last year, and that just continued here into 2023 as well. So let's scroll down a little bit. This graph just really gets into the percentages here, but let's look at this one statement. That means well over 92% of homeowners with mortgages have mortgage rates below the current weekly average of 6.71%. So many folks are below that 6%, 6.71% threshold. So if I'm a seller, it's a pretty good chance that I'm just going to hold out and wait because then I have to purchase in this market. So if I have a 2.5%, 3% mortgage, now I have to buy again at 6.7%. Why would I do that? So if we go down a little bit further into this article, many would-be sellers are staying put rather than listing their home to avoid taking on a much higher mortgage rate. Because honestly, who knows what's going to happen in this market 6 months from now? We saw it fluctuate so much in the course of 6 months from, let's say, the fall of last year till now. Who's to say it won't fluctuate again, right? Maybe things will drop. I mean, who knows? But what I will say is that all of these predictors that were out there, all of these articles that talked about, oh, things are going to balance and level, and didn't happen. Didn't happen. Another interesting point in this article, just over 1/4 of U.S. homeowners who are considering listing their home in the next year would feel more urgency to sell if rates drop to 5% or below. So that's huge, right? So this 5% idea that could be potentially out there, if it did get to that point, that would be huge, and that would probably create an influx of new listings. But sellers have decided to stay put. So at the end of the day, what's really been impacting this market? It's the mortgage rate, number one, and that's impacting buyers' affordability. So buyers who could purchase 2 years ago at 2.5%, 3%, you're looking at a much higher rate now. And the other aspect of this is, well, sellers, why are you going to sell if it doesn't make sense right now because you refinanced a while ago? Your mortgage is maybe 3%. Now you're coming into a 6.71% mortgage opportunity here. So you're basically going to be paying a lot more money if you decide to purchase in this market as well. Because if you sell, where are you going to go? You probably have to purchase a house. All right, the next article I want to talk about is also, you can find this one on Redfin. And I love this article because it's so true, right? I think at the beginning of this year of 2023, there was this whole idea of, oh, it's going to turn into a great spring market. It's going to balance out again. I mean, spring is huge here in northern New Jersey. That's the time to sell because kids are going to be getting out of schools and people are making changes. So get everything done before school ends so that you can get your kids into a new school system, blah, 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 like the whole kit and caboodle. So spring is huge here in northern New Jersey. But I love the title of this article. It's the spring home buying season that never happened. It's so true. I remember having conversations at the beginning of this year saying, you know, we're going to get to that point. Spring is coming. After Super Bowl, we'll start to see more inventory. And you know what? It didn't happen. I love this sentence. This year, instead of the calendar determining the home buying season, which for us would be spring, the Federal Reserve is dictating when people buy and sell. And so far, the Fed's actions are suggesting that people wait. And that's buyers and sellers. And for those of you who are not holding and waiting, and you're seeing this as a longer term strategy and think, oh, I'll just refinance in a year or two. And when you think about it from a strategy, it's you're getting equity. And you're building equity across a time period. So, oh, I'll refinance in a couple of years. So you're competing, right? You're competing against potentially 10 offers, 12 offers, whatever the situation might be. It's very town specific, market specific. So if you're a first time home buyer and your threshold of risk is just you're exhausted, you might want to hold off. So another interesting paragraph here, the continuing inventory shortage is bolstering home prices. It goes on to say here with the data that it seems that on a local level, prices have actually started to level off some. So I'm definitely starting to see that in some towns here in northern New Jersey, not everywhere. Okay, so the next topic area that I want to get into is really from a local perspective. What's going on here in northern New Jersey and how is all of this impacting us here? So now I'm going to take you into one of our local multiple listing service MLS websites. And this one is used here in northern New Jersey. It's just interesting to see. I'm just doing a comparison between 2022 and 2023. So I'm looking at January to June of both years. You could see such a difference in the number of sold listings that has occurred. So 2022 had, for instance, 1,041 listings that sold. In 2023 for the same period, 654. So that's a difference of 37%. If we look across, I mean, overall from, let's say, January to June, we see a difference of about 28% of a difference in homes sold. So that's very similar to what we were just talking about in those Redfin articles as well. So it's huge, right? Just number of solds is not like it was in 2022, and it's these mortgage rates that are really impacting that. So what's interesting, if we just look at the median sold price from 2022 to 2023, it was kind of dead even from January and February, but then the 2023, which is the gold bar here, prices were still rising. Prices were still kind of inflating, and that's because of that competition. Even with these mortgage rates, people were still, like I said, I was seeing people, 50 people deep at open houses. So people still wanted to buy. But what's interesting is if you look at July 2023, it looks like prices are coming down. And this is across all listings in this multiple listing service. And this MLS basically serves all of northern New Jersey. We have a couple of other systems that we use for Hudson County, for instance, or out in Pascack and Essex counties. And the data is very similar. All right, so the big question is this all gonna balance out? Are prices gonna come down? Are rates gonna come down? Listen, this is real estate and it does this. Right? It does this, and we are in this, I don't even know what we're in right now. It's this flux of craziness. So when I'm interacting with buyers now who are in this volatile market, you know, we have frank conversations and we talk about, you know, does it make sense to buy now? Honestly, I can't answer that question. It's a difficult question to answer because it really depends on your situation. What is your risk tolerance? Are you okay with competing in this very competitive market still? Do you see real estate as a longer term investment, right? So you buy now and then refinance later. I don't know if it makes sense now. Look at your debt to income ratio. Look at what you can put down. What's your comfort level? Because if you are still going to compete, you want to put your best foot forward as much as possible in this market still. As I say to my buyers, there's no crystal ball. We just have no idea, but you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Hey, so I'd love to get your thoughts on all of this. I mean, what are you seeing? What are you hearing? What's happening in your market? But go ahead, just leave a comment below. I'd love to get your thoughts on all of this. What are your thoughts or predictions, or what are you reading? And let's have a conversation about it. It'd be great to talk about. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I'm Bob Dzienis with Coldwell Banker here in Northern New Jersey. If you ever have any questions whatsoever, you want to discuss anything here in my market of Northern New Jersey, go ahead and reach out. My information is down below here, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you. And let's chat about what it is that you're looking for and what you're hoping to accomplish. So have you maybe put in some offers and now you're looking for some insights to help you get to the closing table? Well, check out this video over here. It definitely can help you in that process. Couple of strategies that could be helpful is just to make it as smooth as possible. So thanks again for watching. I'm Bob Dzienis with Coldwell Banker, and I will see you in the next video.